Hey there! If you're watching this, it can only mean one thing. You got your home loan pre-approval. This is a massive moment in your property journey, so let's jump right in and talk about what this exciting next stage looks like. Seriously, first things first. From everyone here, a huge congratulations. Getting that pre-approval from the lender, that's a massive milestone. You should definitely take a moment and just let that sink in. You've earned it. And this is so much more than just a piece of paper. This pre-approval, it gives you real buying power. It means you can hit the pavement, start looking at properties with real confidence, because you know exactly what your budget is. So, that naturally leads to the big question, right? What happens now? You've officially got the green light, and think of this little explainer as your guide for what's coming up. Let's get you all set for the house hunt. All right, first section. Let's just make sure we're absolutely crystal clear on what this pre-approval really means. It's super powerful, for sure, but there are a few bits of fine print we need to walk through together. So, at its core, a pre-approval is basically the lender saying, hey, based on everything we've seen so far, we're willing to lend you up to this amount. But, and this is the important part, the key phrase to lock in is subject to certain conditions. And we're going to talk about exactly what those are. Okay, another key detail you've got to know is the timeline. Generally, these pre-approvals are valid for about 90 days. And you might be asking, why 90 days? Well, it's because things change, right? Your finances can shift, interest rates can move, so that 90-day window just makes sure the offer is based on fresh, current information. It means the clock is ticking, which is actually pretty exciting. And hey, if you feel like you might need an extension, no stress. Just have a chat with your broker. We might need to apply for a quick renewal. Right, and this brings us right back to those conditions I mentioned. We call them conditions of approval, or COAs for short. The best way to think of them is like the lender's final checklist. They're just the last few boxes that need to be ticked before everything is 100% completely locked in. And most of the time, they have to do with the actual property you end up choosing. For instance, the lender will need to see that signed contract of sale, and of course, they'll want to do their own valuation to make sure they're happy with the property. So with that in mind, once you find that dream home and you're ready to tick off those conditions, you'll want to have the right paperwork all ready to go. So let's talk about your immediate action plan to keep this amazing momentum rolling. We've tried to make this super simple by breaking down the documents into just two categories. First up is the ASAP pile. These are any outstanding things the lender needs right away. Stuff like your latest payslips or maybe an updated ID. Then you've got the when available pile. And that's pretty self-explanatory. It's for documents you can't possibly get until you've found a property. And yeah, these property-specific documents are exactly what they sound like. The big one is the signed contract of sale, which you'll have once your offer is accepted. Yay! If you're buying an investment, you'll also need a rental appraisal. But here's one thing you don't need to stress about: the valuation report. The lender takes care of organizing that. Your main job? Find that perfect place. Okay, I'm going to ask you to lean in for this next part because it is absolutely critical. We really need to talk about how to protect this pre-approval you've worked so hard to get. Here's the deal. It's so important to understand that from this moment all the way up until settlement, the lender has the right to recheck your finances at any time. Your pre-approval is a snapshot of your finances as they are today. Any change, big or small, can put that approval at risk. So this brings me to the single most important point of this entire explainer, and I really can't stress this enough. If anything changes in your financial world, you have got to tell your broker immediately. It doesn't matter how small you think it is, just call us. That open communication is your #1 line of defense. And when I say anything, here are some real-world examples of what I mean. Thinking about changing jobs, or maybe your hours got cut back a bit? That's a phone call to your broker. Considering a new car loan or even just applying for a new credit card, please call your broker first. I'm not kidding. We have seen pre-approvals get jeopardized for something as simple as someone opening a new store card to get a discount on a new TV. These things can have a direct impact, so just please keep us in the loop. Okay, so after all that really serious but super important talk, I want to bring it back to a really positive and encouraging note, because this whole journey, it's not all on your shoulders. We're your team in this. We are right here with you to help guide you through what is a really exciting and, yeah, sometimes kind of tricky property search. So keep us in the loop. Tell us about the places you're looking at. Or if you're planning to go to an auction, we want to hear about it, and we're here to help you every step of the way. Look, you've done the heavy lifting. You've got that pre-approval sitting in your hand, and now you know the roadmap. So really, there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to go find your new home? Good luck out there and happy house hunting.